Chapter 3, number 8 in the homework. It says find the sample variance and the standard deviation. Well, the first thing we do is we take these 5 data points and we put them in our calculator in the list, and then we're going to run a one variable statistic analysis on it. So first things first, we'll go to our calculator. I tend to do this second plus 4, and what that does is it clears my list, okay? And then I'll go back and hit stat and hit edit, and then I'll go over, make sure that I'm on L1. Now I need to type in 21, 10, 4, 6, and 8. So just kind of double check 21, 10, 4, 6, and 8. Once I've got that typed in, then I'll come right here and I'll hit stat. Go arrow to the right. You want to do a one variable statistic analysis or statistical analysis on it. So we're going to hit enter because we're already there. Our data is in L1, so we'll just come down to calculate and hit enter. And when we do this, what we're seeing is we see our mean, the sum of x, the sum of x squared. S of x is the sample's standard deviation. Mu of x is the population. Well, we need the sample, okay, because it said we had a sample, so that's what we're going to do. Now, that's 6.6483. So what we have to understand is the square root of the variance, okay, is so we got sample variance and then standard deviation. The square root of the variance is the standard deviation, okay? All right, so you've got to understand that. So we're in here, so we're going to select B, all right? B is going to be our choice. Well, I guess I could have just selected it like this. So B is our choice because we're in a sample. The A would be in the population variance, okay? So we set our standard, our samples, standard deviation, not that one. Let's see, what was it? Let's go back over here. Yeah, it was S of X, sorry. The S of X, which is standard deviation, was 6.6483. Well, if the square root of variance is the standard deviation, then if we got the standard deviation, then what we need to do in order to get the variance is just square it. So if we square the variance, it's going to be equal to the standard deviation squared. And note that I'm at 4 decimals out. So you want to make sure you have 6483 squared. You want to make sure that you have out the 4 decimal places. So when I do that, I get a value that is 44. So I square that. That's 44.1999. Okay. Well, we need to go to 1 decimal place, so that's going to be 44.2. All right. And then it's going to ask. This is variance, so they're going to say you want the standard deviation or the population's standard deviation. So we want to do the standard deviation for the sample, and that is just 6.6483. And if we go to 1 decimal place, it's 6.6, right? That's part B. So that concludes number 8 with a little bit more detail on what you need to understand. Now, the calculator gave me again, the standard deviation. So if I want the variance from that, then I just square the standard deviation because the square root of the variance is the standard deviation. So we're kind of, how do we get to one, get to the other type thing, and it's explained right there. So that should do you good on that, okay?